Hello, this is FASTECH. Prior to the detailed product description, let me briefly introduce the FASTECH Ethernet product line and Ethernet total solution. Before that, let me briefly introduce the FASTECH Ethernet product line. Here is a brand called Ezi-SERVO. Ezi-SERVO is a closed-loop stepping system product line. And there is a brand called Ezi-STEP. Ezi-STEP is an open-loop micro-stepping system product line. And there is a brand called Ezi-MOTIONLINK. Ezi-MOTIONLINK is a one-axis motion controller for Ezi-SERVO drive. Lastly, the brand Ezi-IO is a digital I/O module. So, FASTECH Ethernet product line has the Ezi-SERVO brand of the closed-loop stepping system, the Ezi-STEP brand of the open-loop micro-stepping system, the Ezi-MOTIONLINK brand of the one-axis motion controller for Ezi-SERVO drive, and the Ezi-IO brand of the digital I/O module. Let's take a look at each product brand one by one. First, Ezi-SERVO brand. Ezi-SERVO brand has three products, including Ezi-SERVO 2 Plus E, a standard type of closed-loop stepping system, Ezi-SERVO 2 Plus E Mini, a mini drive type, and Ezi-SERVO 2 Plus E All, an all-in-one type that combines a motor, a high-resolution encoder, a drive and motion controller and Ethernet network. Next, Ezi-STEP brand. Ezi-STEP brand has two products, including Ezi-STEP 2 Plus E, a standard type of open-loop micro-stepping system, and Ezi-STEP 2 Plus E Mini, a mini drive type. Next, Ezi-MOTIONLINK brand. Ezi-MOTIONLINK brand has one product called Ezi-MOTIONLINK Plus E, a one-axis motion controller that can be directly connected to various AC servos such as Yaskawa and Mitsubishi. Finally, Ezi-IO brand. Ezi-IO Ethernet has two products including digital I/O module and analog I/O module. So, FASTECH has a total of 8 Ethernet products. Since there are various types of products, we can provide a total solution that enables stepping motor, AC servo, and I/O module to be controlled through the standard Ethernet port of a PC without a separate motion controller. This is the meaning of total solutions. Until now, I briefly introduced the meaning of the total solution and FASTECH's Ethernet products. Among 8 types of products, I'd like to introduce digital I/O module and analog I/O module called Ezi-IO Ethernet. Next, prior to the introduction of Ezi-IO Ethernet, I would like to explain the FASTECH's Ethernet products with the example of Korean market situation. When a customer configures the machine, PC or PLC is used in various ways as the main master. In the Korean market, this main master is an industrial PC usually. Almost 70 to 80% of machine builders compose their machine based on PC. The main reason is that the software development environment is flexible when controlling machines. That is, accessibility is good. In more detail, since customers can easily configure machine programs in a Windows-based programming environment by directly connecting to a Windows-based PC, most customers in the Korean market prefer and use FASTECH's Ethernet products a lot. In addition, the most widespread software development environment in the world is PC, and Windows-based C++, C, C#, Visual Basic, LabVIEW, etc. can be used commonly. Thus, it has good versatility. Therefore, FASTECH Ethernet products provide a PI for these programming languages, making them ideal for various customers' software development environments. Like this, when configuring the machine, FASTECH's Ethernet products are used as a suitable solution in the Korean market. That accessibility and versatility are important. Now, using an actual machine as an example, I would like to introduce the concept of Ethernet product development. This machine aligns the lens and sensor of the camera module used in the smartphone. As you can see in the photo on the left, the customer applied 10-axis of Ezi-SERVO 2+E, which is a standard type of closed-loop stepping system, and 5-axis of Ezi-SERVO. When setting the machine, there is a case that the machine requires Ezi-SERVO motor, stepping motor, I/O module at the same time. In the case of this 10-axis Ezi-SERVO, the customer can directly connect to a PC through the Ethernet port and control it using the Windows-based API provided by FASTECH. But, a separate motion board is required to control the 5-axis Ezi-SERVO. The customer needs to configure two different software development environments to control Ezi-SERVO and Ezi-SERVO. This is cumbersome from the customer's point of view, and costs are increased by a separate motion board to control the 5-axis Ezi-SERVO. In addition, long and thick bundles of wires connected from the Ezi-SERVO to the motion board are required, and it makes the wiring complicated. In the next chapter, I will explain the details with diagrams. As previously explained briefly, conventionally, a separate motion board was required to control the 5-axis of the Ezi-SERVO, and wiring was complicated because many bundles of long wires had to be connected to the motion board through the servo interface cable of the Ezi-SERVO drive. This inconvenience can be solved by using our product, Ezi-MOTIONLINK Plus E. Ezi-MOTIONLINK Plus E is an Ethernet Type 1-axis motion controller that can be used by plugging it into the interface connector of the Ezi-SERVO drive. As you can see, for example, there is a Panasonic Ezi-SERVO drive. Ezi-MOTIONLINK can be directly attached to the servo interface connector of this Panasonic's Ezi-SERVO drive. The servo interface connector of Panasonic Ezi-SERVO drive is 3M50-pin connector, and most major Ezi-SERVO drives also use this 3M50-pin connector. Since FASTECH's Ezi-MOTIONLINK also uses this 3M50-pin connector, it is compatible with most major Ezi-SERVO drives. However, the pin map may be different for each Ezi-SERVO drive. For example, if the servo on signal of Yaskawa Ezi-SERVO is number 5, Mitsubishi is assigned to number 7, but the function of the interface is the same. With this, you can remove the complicated wiring bundle from the Ezi-SERVO to the motion board. By using Ezi-MOTIONLINK, a 1-axis motion controller, the customer can use 5-axis Ezi-SERVO with only an Ethernet communication cable without a separate motion board. You can control these with the API that FASTECH provides. Also, I mentioned that two different software environments were required to control 10-axis of Ezi-SERVO and 5-axis of Ezi-SERVO. But, if the customer uses Ezi-MOTIONLINK, 5-axis Ezi-SERVO can be used in the same Ethernet network and software environment using the API of Ezi-SERVO. In other words, a total of 15 axes can be operated with one program. I will show you a practical application example. This example applied the total solution concept that stepping motor, Ezi-SERVO motor, and digital I/O module can be controlled with one Ethernet port, without a separate motion controller. FASTECH's Ezi-SERVO 2+E, which is stepping motor, Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO, which is digital I/O module, and Ezi-SERVO are applied to this machine. As you can see, Ezi-MOTIONLINK, which is a 1-axis motion controller for Ezi-SERVO drive, is directly connected to a total of 8 axes of Ezi-SERVOs. Ezi-MOTIONLINKs are connected by daisy chain using Ethernet ports, and there are also connected with Ezi-SERVO 2+E and Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO of FASTECH by daisy chain through Ethernet communication. With simple wiring, Ezi-SERVO and Ezi-SERVO can be driven by one Ethernet network at the same time. At this machine, I/O module is also connected. In the case of a small machine like this, if you use Ezi-MOTIONLINK, you can control Ezi-SERVO, stepping motor, I/O module with FASTECH's API. You don't need a separate motion board for Ezi-SERVO. Just control with one Ethernet network. Therefore, it is possible to save costs by removing unnecessary motion boards and reducing wiring. To summarize the product concept, it is as follows. Since FASTECH basically provides Windows-based API for Ethernet products, customers can select development languages like C++, C, C#, Visual Basic, LabVIEW, etc. for programming. In addition to the API, GUI software is also provided and can be downloaded for free from the FASTECH web page. As mentioned earlier, FASTECH provides GUI software, Ezi-MOTION+E, an API for Windows free of charge. First of all, the GUI software can be downloaded for free from the website. If you access the following address and place the mouse pointer on the Download tab of the homepage, the item called Quick Download appears. Click on the item to display the product list. You can download the GUI software by clicking the Program button of the Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO product among the products in the list. You can also download the same software by clicking the Program button for other Ethernet products. And in the path where Ezi-MOTION+E, FASTECH's Ethernet GUI, is installed, you can check the C#, C++, and LabVIEW example files in the example folder. And, you can check the API in the include folder. For reference, 32-bit API of C# is in include folder, 64-bit API of C# is in include _x64 folder, and 32-bit API of C++ is in include _x86 _CPP folder, and 64-bit API of C++ is in include _x64 _CPP folder. In summary, in the case of a single application, especially a small device, FASTECH's Ethernet products have a built-in motion controller, so a motion board is unnecessary as described before. Using a standard Ethernet network, you can configure and control the entire machine through one Ethernet network, including stepping motors, servo motors, and digital and analog I/O modules. This is the meaning of the total solution we aim for. With the demonstration video, I will show you that stepping motor and Ezi-SERVO I/O module are controlled by one Ethernet network as in the previous application example. There are 28 axes of FASTECH Ethernet products, which is an Ethernet standard type product of closed-loop stepping system, and 4 axes of Ezi-SERVO. Total 32 axes of stepping motor and Ezi-SERVO, and I/O module were controlled by one Ethernet network. The products used in this demonstration are as follows. By applying Ezi-MOTIONLINK to Ezi-SERVO, such as Mitsubishi, Panasonic, Yaskawa, and Sanyo, a total 32 axes including Ezi-SERVO 2+E and Ezi-SERVO were controlled at the same time. As you can see, Ezi-SERVO and Ezi-SERVO are controlled by one network and program. There is no need for a separate motion board and can be operated simply with a PC. Until now, I've introduced FASTECH's Ethernet total solution. From next, I will introduce Ezi-IO Ethernet. First of all, I will explain the combination model name of Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO. In Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO, IO means I/O module, and EN means the product supports Ethernet network. I16016N means an NPN-type product with 16 channels of input and 16 channels of output. E means a product using Econ-type connectors. There are two options, 16 channels and 32 channels, and input-output alone or mixed selection is possible. For example, I16N model has 16 inputs channels, O16N model has 16 outputs. An I808N model has 8 input channels and 8 output channels. Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO supports NPN and PNP type input and output. Also, there are two connector types, Econ and terminal block. Next, let's check the features of Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO products. First, as explained before, Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO supports Econ connector and terminal block. In the case of the Econ connector type, the Econ connector allows convenient attachment and detachment of peripheral devices such as various sensors. And, terminal block type uses ferrule terminals for easy one-touch wiring. Therefore, you can easily connect and control peripheral devices such as various sensors. As mentioned before, Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO provides 16-channel products and 32-channel products. The 16-channel product has 16-channel input type and 16-channel output type, and the 32-channel product has 32-channel input type and 32-channel output type. And, there are also modules with combined input-output. For example, in case of 16-channel product, 8 input channel and 8 output channel combination product are available, and in case of 32-channel product, 16 input channel and 16 output channel combination product is available. In addition, Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO provides NPN-type and PNP-type products to support input-output methods of various peripheral devices. Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO is a digital I/O module using a photocoupler. The maximum input current for each channel is 5 mA and the maximum output current is 200 mA. From now on, I will show you videos of the demonstration with Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO applied. First, this is a demonstration showing various patterns of LED lighting by controlling Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO with PC. You can see that total of 8 Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO products are connected in a daisy chain via one Ethernet network and controlled at the same time. The product names used in this demonstration are as follows. Terminal block type output 32 channels 3 units and output 16 channels 1 unit. Econ connector type output 32 channels 3 units and output 16 channels 1 unit. That is, a total of 8 Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO products are connected in a daisy chain via one Ethernet network and controlled at the same time. And by connecting an Ethernet cable directly to a PC, you can easily control the product through the Windows API provided by FASTECH. The last demonstration is an 8-axis ball demo showing the Ethernet total solution provided by FASTECH. The product names used in this demonstration are as follows. If you look at the left side, there are 4 axes of Ezi-SERVO 2 plus E-all, which is an all-in-one type that combines a motor, a high-resolution encoder, a drive and motion controller, and Ethernet network. And there is a digital I/O module, Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO. Also, If you look at the right side, you can see that there are two axes of Ezi-SERVO 2 plus E that standard type and two axes of Ezi-SERVO 2 plus E mini that is mini drive type. These products are closed-loop stepping system. The Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO product used in the demonstration supports 8 input channels and 8 output channels, and a push-in spring type terminal block is applied. By connecting the input terminal and the output terminal to each other, you can check that the signal sent from the output terminal enters the input terminal by blinking the LED. A type that supports the Econ connector is also selectable. And total 8 axes are connected in a daisy chain via one Ethernet network and controlled at the same time with one master. That is, these 8 axes are controlled by PC at the same time. The program uses FASTECH's Windows-based API. Until now, I've introduced Ezi-IO Ethernet DIO. The next product to be introduced is Ezi-IO Ethernet AD, an Ethernet-based analog input module. First of all, I will explain the combination model name of Ezi-IO Ethernet AD product. In the example model name, I/O means input and output module, and EN means the product using the Ethernet network. AD08 means that the product supports 8 analog input channels, and T means that terminal block is applied. Now let's check the features of Ezi-IO Ethernet AD products. First, as explained before, Ezi-IO Ethernet AD provides terminal block type products. The ferrule terminals enable easy wiring, and analog peripheral devices such as various sensors can be easily connected with one touch. Ezi-IO Ethernet AD supports voltage or current input mode. The input mode can be easily selected through the dip switch. When the switch is off, it is a voltage input, and when it is on, it operates as a current input. In case of input range, in voltage input mode, it can be set by parameters with Ethernet communication or by adjusting dip switch. For the voltage input range, there are 4 settings: -10 to 10 volts, -5 to 5 volts, -2.5 volts to 2.5 volts, and 0 to 10 volts. When using current input mode, set number 1 of the input range setting switch to off to set voltage current input range via Ethernet communication, and the current input range is 0 to 20 mA. When setting the input range through Ethernet communication mentioned earlier, you can use the GUI program or the protocol which can be downloaded from FASTECH website. Next, we will explain how the input analog data are converted into digital values. When the voltage input range is -10 to 10 volts, -5 to 5 volts, and -2.5 to 2.5 volts, the analog data value of the corresponding voltage range is converted to a digital value between -4096 and 4095. When the voltage input range is 0 to 10 volts, the input analog data value is converted to a digital value of 0 to 8191. And in the case of current input mode, the current input range is 0 to 20 mA. At this time, the analog data value of the current range is converted to a digital value of 0 to 8191 as shown in the graph. Finally, a moving average filter is available for the analog signal input to each channel. If the input analog data fluctuates significantly due to noise, etc., the effect of noise on data can be reduced by the moving average filter. The filter time interval of the moving average filter can be set between 0 and 200 milliseconds through the GUI program or the protocol, and the time range of filter according to the input value are shown in the table. The next product to be introduced is Ezi-IO Ethernet DA, an Ethernet-based analog output module. First of all, I will explain the combination model name of Ezi-IO Ethernet DA product. In the example model name, I/O means input and output module, and EN means the product using the Ethernet network. DA04 means that the product supports 4 analog output channels, and T means that terminal block is applied. Now let's check the features of Ezi-IO Ethernet DA products. First, as explained before, Ezi-IO Ethernet DA provides terminal block type products. The ferrule terminals enable easy wiring, and analog peripheral devices such as motor drives can be easily connected with one touch. Ezi-IO Ethernet DA supports voltage or current output mode. The output mode and range can be easily selected through the combination of dip switches. For the current output range, there are 2 settings, 0 to 20 mA and 4 to 20 mA. For the voltage output range, there are 4 settings, 0 to 5 volts, -10 to 10 volts, 1 to 5 volts, and 0 to 10 volts. 1 to 5 volts mode and 0 to 10 volts mode can only be set by adjusting parameters with Ethernet communication. To use Ethernet communication to set the range, set number 1 of the output range setting switch to off. When setting the output range through Ethernet communication mentioned earlier, you can use the GUI program or the protocol, which can be downloaded from FASTECH website. Next, Ezi-IO Ethernet DA provides calibration for output deviation function. Deviation in voltage or current output may occur due to the characteristics of the product and the device to be connected, the characteristics of the cable, and the connection method. Ezi-IO Ethernet DA product can reduce deviation with calibration function. For example, in the case of 0 to 5 volts output mode, the input digital value 0 to 25,000 is converted to 0 to 5 volts output. However, due to the deviation, if the output value is 0.2 volts when digital value 0 is input and the output value is 5.2 volts when digital value 25,000 is input, it is inconvenient to set the digital value input range to -1,000 to 24,000 to get the correct value. However, if the low value of the calibration function parameter is set to -1,000 and the high value is set to 24,000, the actual output value is 0 to 5 volts through the calibration when the digital value is input in the range of 0 to 25,000. Depending on the output range, the available low value and high value ranges are as shown in the table on the screen. Finally, I will explain how the input digital data are converted into analog values. For examples, when the voltage output range is 0 to 5 volts, the digital data input range for normal use is 0 to 25,000, and the normal output range is 0 to 5 volts. However, for the calibration function we just talked about, the actual input range of digital data is -1,250 to 26,250, and the actual output voltage range is -0.25 to 5.25 volts. For the digital data input range and actual output voltage range for each output range in voltage output mode, please refer to the table and graph on the screen. Also, please refer to the table and graph on the screen for the digital data input range and the actual output current range for each output range in the current output mode. I have introduced Ezi-IO Ethernet DA until now. The following demonstration shows the conversion of analog input signals into digital signals through Ezi-IO Ethernet AD products, and digital input signals into analog signals through Ezi-IO Ethernet DA products. The first product is Ezi-IO Ethernet AD. As you can see, if you input an analog signal with the volume knob, You can see that the analog signal is converted into the digital signal and displayed on the PC. The following is Ezi-IO Ethernet DA product. You can see that the digital signal input from the PC is converted into an analog signal and displayed. We have looked at the Ezi-IO Ethernet AD and DA products and, on the FASTECH website www.fastech-motions.com, you can download product-related materials such as catalogs, manuals, drawings, and watch demonstration videos, and webinars. Also, if you search FASTECH on YouTube, you can see more than 100 demonstration and webinar videos. Thank you for listening.